Good evening. Welcome to WooTube. My name's Baran Woo, and today, it's obvious what we're going to do today, isn't it? Maybe it's not obvious. I should actually explain. Firstly, I've got a new camera, or technically an old camera, which is down here instead of being up here, which probably makes it look like I've got a really tiny head on big shoulders. Don't know how I feel about that, and yeah, I'm trying it out, but I can see it now. It's like slightly upsetting me how minuscule my head looks. But there we go. It does mean that I'm not like looking directly into your minds as you're watching this, which is maybe a good thing. I hope so. Anyway. Okay, so on the weekend, it was what was it? It was the Intercontinentals, Intercontinental Championships. You all look up to me now. Nice, thanks, Colada. That's not gonna inflate my ego more than it already is. So Intercontinentals were on the weekend. Pretty wild. Like I kind of caught them as sort of busy, but had them on in an ear, like was listening, and then got to watch like quite a few of the games in the like later stages. Like I came in about 2 rounds in and was like, soccer and Tuno are gone. What's going on? It was just one of those. I mean, not that there was any, I mean, I don't know. It's funny because, like, obviously you're like, well, they're really strong players. Everyone was a really strong player. Kind of obviously, you had to win or come like in the top 4 of the Continentals. And looking through the list of names, it was an absolute shark pit. But yeah, mainly what's quite nice, I realised literally, I think just now, someone with the username Intercontinental Championships 2004 decks has published all the deck lists. And I don't know if this is like a NSG thing or if someone else has just decided to do that. But it's quite nice, and it's even got their scores on them, which means that you can just go through and see all. I mean, the winningest decks is something, I guess. So first of all, obviously, massive shout out to Jai. Jai came first place, not dropping a single game. I do not believe. Um, he was playing this Asa list, which is very much based on a list that he played at APAC. I really like this list. If I was playing Asa at the moment, I'd probably be playing that. Hey, when's gone? How you doing? Um, and he was playing World Tree Arasana, unsurprisingly, but with a spicy Lucky Charm, which I'll hopefully get to talk to him about a bit more about at some point soon. But yeah, he won the whole thing. He did it at about 2 a.m. in the morning or something absolutely ridiculous, maybe 4 a.m. by the time it got to the end of it. Um, and just massive shout out. Also, I mean, to all the players, but also to Augustus coming in second. Everyone, I think, was really hoping for like an epic final, and unfortunately, the cards just didn't want to play ball. And I would, if you're going to watch any of the games, don't watch the final because it's just Augustus getting basically appalling card draw, and Jai sniping a couple of genders off centrals, and it's just all over very, very quickly. And other than that, I mean, most people were playing stuff which we were kind of expecting. There was a pretty interesting. Someone had a really wild sports list. This sports list was pretty wild with a couple of moon pools. It was running Nightmare Archives. So you're just trying to get your kind of ontological dependencies down to like a 2-0. And Giordano as well. That's somewhat spicy. And which was the other like the other sports list? Oh, this was like the same sports list or very, very similar. But we don't really want to talk about any of them, do we? Because there is one deck, there is one deck which we have to talk about. Mooncore Sports. I've been playing it. It's weird but fun. I could imagine that Game of Droids absolutely. It does look like a bit of a blast. But here we are, back with some of my certainly my favourite brothers in Netrunner, Abraham and Charlie, or Man in the Moon and Santa. Some of the most creative deck builders out there, and certainly some of the wildest ones. I mean, if you who had 3 copies of Rosetta 2.0 on their bingo card? Koga did is the answer, but we'll get to that in a second. No one else though. This is kind of bizarre, but there's something about it which kind of makes sense. If you haven't seen this deck yet, what it does is it kind of installs either a Coalescence or a Muse to get a Coalescence. And then it installs a Rosetta 2.0. And then you just click Rosetta about 4 or 5 times and you get your entire rig out for like essentially a few credits. And that is like the rig. So Buzzsaw, Cleaver, Echelon, Turbine. You don't have to make successful runs. It's not once a turn. You just go click Rosetta, click Rosetta, click Rosetta, click Rosetta. Each time, like at first, you're selling your Coalescence and your Muse to the Rosetta for another Muse or Coalescence or whatever. I think it's almost always a Muse, basically how it works out. And then you sell it for your Breaker Suite with a Turbine. And all of a sudden, you've taken like 2 turns, but you've got a full rig set up. Which is kind of interesting because this is a way which Shapers have been going recently. Kit currently is like, well, I'm going to play 2 events and my entire rig is set up for breaking ice. And this is a kind of similar thing, but instead of being in Kit and instead of using Lobosome and Orca, here we've got a more kind of traditional, if you like, Buzzsaw, Cleaver, Echelon. There's one copy of Ika, and they talk about that in the write-up. A, it's good against Archer. You can get it off the Muse. And B, you need like one other card in case you like draw bad. Yeah, magnum opus, but make it a setup tool. This is the thing. Like, essentially, when you're doing this, you're kind of gaining 2 credits and getting another bit of your rig. And even more than that, you're also pulling cards out of your deck. So you go from being like, this deck is, it's also, I mean, we should talk about the fact that this is in Isla. Both brothers, both Charlie and Abraham, both bought this deck to Intercontinentals. We had 2 Isla lists at Intercontinentals. Also, and weirdly, we can't see them now, I think, because all the Intercontinental deck lists. I think there was a startup event in America, and there were 3 Isla decks. There were definitely 2, but one talks about playing. I mean, it might have lost to the same or won against the same Isla deck, I guess, twice, maybe. But they were playing. The person who came in first was playing an Isla deck, and I saw it earlier, and now I can't find it, so I can't credit who it is. But they were playing an Isla deck, and then in their corp write-up, they talk about going against 2 Isla decks. So there were like 3 Isla decks at this event, and I think this was startup, so I don't think this was doing like Rosetta stuff. Hey Francesco, yeah. I mean, this card has been like, Rosetta 2.0 has been on like my weird like little, it's at the back of my mind at many times, and it's never felt correct until last week. And you're going to say, oh, because you saw Charlie and Abraham playing this deck. No, it wasn't. Last week was the weird week where everyone suddenly started playing around with Rosetta 2.0, because not only did we have this deck, Koga sent me this, or linked me this, which was a deck that he put together. Big Crim fan that he is. This is 3 copies of Rosetta 2.0. This is just like Los, but playing World Tree. It plays copies of Saucy, which is good with Los and good with Window of Opportunity, and can get a load of money. And then once they've res the ice, you can use the Rosetta to sell the Saucy to get something else. Like you can just get your Muse with Coalescence, click the Coalescence, you've got 2 more things to sell to Rosetta, and you just keep going. You can kind of get your Saucies back from getting a Muse out if one of the Saucies is trashed. And my plan was to be like, oh, I'm going to come on WooTube on Monday and play a Rosetta 2.0 list. And that's going to be crazy and wild because no one's played with that card for ages. And then these 2 come along. And so I'm like, what? I'm already behind the times. But now I'm a bit like stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I really want to play this deck, but I also really want to play my own version of it, because as much as I should just play the version which they've put out, that's not very me. So I was toying around with this earlier today, and I also want to try out this, but I am less able to function on exactly how this Los deck works. That might well be, yes, it was Liberation without Liberation CO. Maybe I can open this up here. So here we go. 0 Hour has a lot of published deck lists, but they won the event. Hopefully this brings up, no, I want it in date. Please be in yes, newest first. Okay, so just quick aside, because I'm like, oh, I just didn't understand. There's so much Isla. So 0 Hour won the startup CO. I assume it's startup CO. All of these cards are startup, and like there's no reason that they'd be playing Smartware. Well, there's no reason they'd be playing Verbal. if it wasn't startup. So this one, Isla, and at the same, how am I going to find, if I search for this, I think that's the best thing to search for, because I think they were all like labeled. Actually, I could just search for Isla, right? Like that will just bring up, surely that will bring up the most recent ones. So this is Santa. That's Santa's one. So there was this one, and then was it this? I might not be able to find it now, which is really upsetting. Or I think the other lists. Yeah, I think the maybe I can just. Oh, I could find it on Always Be Running, but I can't because Always Be Running is down right now. So anyway, Isla apparently like storming around this weekend. Who knew? Now, I've been playing around with this idea because it does seem pretty funky. I noticed two issues with it when I was watching it on stream. One is that it like got everything set up very quick, but it burnt itself out incredibly fast. And it's kind of meant to do that, right? This is a list which is meant to beat rush decks, and that's how it explains itself. It's like this is going to just set itself up super fast, and then it's playing like a ton of draw, and I do mean a ton of draw. We've got Joyrides, we've got VRcations, we've got Diesels, which all draw a lot of cards. You're playing Isla, so like you're a 41 card deck anyway, and you're going to be removing like 6 programs from your deck like with clicks. So you kind of, once you get set up, you're thinning out your deck as well. So it does go very fast, and it's meant to beat rush decks, and that's it. But it did tend to burn itself out very quickly. You saw it like run out of resource. It just burnt through all its resources, and then it just had nothing left to give. So I was like, okay, well, how could that be remedied? And I mean, the answer to that is recursion. So what can we put in here? And then the other thing is that I just didn't think it had quite enough of a strong win con. Like it has a Mad Dash, which is pretty good against 5/3 decks, but you have to like land a burner and see an agenda for that to be sort of really realistic, unless you are very good at knowing exactly what deck you're playing against. I've got to sort my hair out. It's probably going to be a mess now. Not that it wasn't anyway. So I came up with this. Hopefully is that viewable? Yeah, I'll zoom in a little. So firstly, as much as I like the idea of Isla and of getting that like insane mulligan, and you are kind of this like almost this combo-y type deck where you need a Rosetta in your opening, and you also want a Coalescence or preferably a Muse in your opening. That sounds great. So Isla does make sense, but I kind of worry with Isla about getting, if you get like the programs stuck on MBR RAM, which obviously you're not putting them on there automatically. I just don't like Isla. Oh, it's not I don't like Isla. I love Isla. Like I just can't explain it. I just don't want to necessarily play as Isla. Maybe that's the better thing to do. I want an ability which is somewhat more relevant. So I considered porting it into tau, because I'm playing 41 cards, so my chances of finding the bits which I need, mainly the Rosetta, and like one of the Muses or a Coalescence, are much, much greater because I can play 40 cards. Obviously, I've not managed it. Everyone can see that I'm currently at 41. um, and then I wanted some recursion so that I had a little bit more longevity. Um, so my immediate idea for that was to drop the Buzzsaw, play a Unity, and then play a DJ Fenris. And this has helped in certain games where I have to deal with a gatekeeper and I haven't got a turbine down yet. So there's also a bonus there. And I just hope no one's playing Vampira Nasa. I think like all of the Buzzsaw players, which is all the Buzzsaw decks, are kind of keeping some of the ice at bay, which would be an issue for Unity. So Vampira Nasa is like a big pain. It's like the only thing which is annoying to break with Lobosome as well. Like it costs 5, whichever way you slice it. But like playing Vampira Nasa feels really bad right now because them breaking it for 2 credits just doesn't feel right. So I'm just kind of hoping that the whole everyone else is playing Turbine Buzzsaw is going to keep that out. Now that frees up 1 influence, which means we can get Fenris, which is also good because we're tau and we want to put pressure on multiple centrals and be able to move ice around and make it relevant. And obviously we've got some central pressure. I've cut down to 2 burners. I think this is correct, but we'll see. And that's kind of our slightly more central pressure. I dropped the Joyrides because with 40 cards. And I'm playing 2 Nukers and 1 Viarcation. The write-up does like make really, really good reasoning for playing Viarcation over Nuker. And like it's fine playing a Viarcation like first click and spending 2 clicks to draw 4 cards. That's not the worst. But I really like to like load up a Nuker so I can click it at the start of next turn and like immediately get 3 more cards. It's a personal preference. If I was on like prepaid, maybe different. And then I just wanted a bit more of a win con. And this deck notably plays no console, and I've actually kept it that way because there's not a console which you could fit in here that would really make sense. There's not necessarily enough stuff to install to play Pantograph. Getting like a credit off the score is probably fine. But like if you were gonna play like basically it means you can't play like Conduit is what I'm saying. But you can play Cataloger, and Cataloger also works with Mad Dash. So this is my plan to like bring a bit more of a like quicker end game in. We've obviously still got 3 trick shots. This card is nuts. And then I've also stuck in 1 copy of Harmony AR Therapy because this helps. Firstly, we can like chuck out like if we draw into all our breakers in the early game, that's really, really bad. And potentially I would quite like to play like 2 Harmony AR Therapies in all honesty. Yeah, Anakin would probably be fine, to be honest, droids, but I would only be playing 1 of it. And like the last thing you want to do is get to the end of your deck and then install the Anakin. Like it's just not going to feel right, I don't think. But it could be fun. So another idea I have is actually to sort of maybe even not play the DJ Fenris. We could go back to Buzzsaw and just play multiple Harmony AR Therapies, because just bringing like the 5 like most relevant cards back is super important. I.e., we just want a trick shot, a gamble, a diesel, a burner, and a creative, or we want like the cataloger back if we've used it. This also means that we're a little bit more safe against rig shooter. which is why like Charlie and Santa's version we're playing 2 simul chips, and that means I think I can drop to 1 simul chip, because again we can always get back like the program that we've lost to SDS, because that's why the simul chips are here in the first place, and also the simul chip if it's going to be one of those kind of matchups. I can't cut this down. I just like I can't work out the cut to get to 41. I'm already down to 2 dirty laundries because I've got Augustus ringing in my ear. I guess if I dropped the Fenris, went back to Buzzsaw, that's losing 2 cards. But then I'd want to play a second Harmony AR Therapy. So I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to play 1 game with this tau deck because I understand it. I put it together, and then we're gonna try the low stack because I just want to see how it feels. But I need to like get my feet under me first, which I'll do by playing this. Okay, let's get that. 41 cards to establish dominance. Absolutely. And yeah, like obvious, like best reason for playing tau is that we can play this name, Rosetta. Like that's like good enough in my opinion. Yeah. Right, let's try and put this on the right setting, which I think is this. Yeah, something like that. What I should have done, Koga, is like set up my my headphones so that I could potentially even get you on call and you could talk me through the lines with the low stack. Right, this feels like a big old mulligan, and we're playing against BTL, which is not good for us. Uh-oh, Janet is struggling with lag. Let's hope it's not too bad. Okay, they're on subliminal messaging. So I like the fact that we've got dirty laundry to start with. Hopefully they don't ice archive, ice R&D even. We might faceplant into some of this. Have I said? Oh, I haven't said good luck, have fun. Very rude. Oh, Janet is struggling a little bit. Okay, that's slightly concerning. But at least we've got like a nice set. I think we're not going to challenge any of the guys because I want to play all the cards in my hand. So we'll just go like this. Hopefully, we'll play the hedge fund. We're going to dirty laundry into archives. Just as much to turn their oh, that's fair. If it wouldn't have really worked for you, then that makes sense. Dirty laundry archives mainly just to turn off their subliminal messaging, just for now. Okay, we have our Rosetta. That's good. We found a cast early. The casts, I'm slightly unsure about in the deck because I genuinely think almost the deck wants to go faster than the casts allow it to, if you know what I mean. This is not looking good considering that JNet's a bit laggy and this doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly fast deck, right? We're just going to get like Hyperglacier. Luckily, we have found like a lot of the pieces that we need, and we found them in the right order, which is just sick. We can afford to start just getting the stuff out. So we go for our stack here. We get a Coalescence. And then we click it twice. And so then I still haven't quite worked out whether it's better. I think it's actually better to sell this Muse. Throwing the Coalescence into the bin so I can get the Coalescence out of the bin with the next Muse, because I want to get all the Muses out of the deck, importantly. And maybe that's not correct, but I was trying to work this out earlier. I think it makes more sense if you have drawn stuff in the wrong order. And I think because I drew stuff in the right order, I should have actually just done this like the normal way. Well, I'm going to the heap. Get the coalescence out of the heap. Take 2 off it. Then we'll sell this coalescence. We'll get the last muse from the stack. We'll pull a coalescence, unsurprisingly. We'll take 2 off this. Maybe I have done this right. No, I've done this fine. This is fine. And then we'll sell this coalescence to get the last coalescence. So yeah, actually I should have just I didn't need to do it the funny way. We'll sell this one to get our last coalescence. Oh yeah, because now we don't actually have enough we don't have enough programs to sell stuff. Whoops. Okay. I did make a mistake. But that's fine. We can get our full breaker suite down. Or I'll tell you what we're probably going to do is we're just not going to get our echelon. We're going to, next turn, we're going to get Cleaver, Unity, and Turbine, and then we've got an Eca in hand. So we're kind of good. Yeah, the full Muse Coalescence math with Rosetta is a bit weird. And I think so Celestial at the moment, no, it's kind of mid. But what's important is that we now are gonna tutor our entire rig for like a credit each and a click, like without having to draw anything else. We don't have to draw into multiple SMCs and pay for the SMCs and pay for the pro. Like it's so much cheaper. So that turn is kind of just about setting up, and it's like fine. We're not really making any money, but we are pulling stuff out of our deck. So our deck is becoming like pretty lean already. By the end of next turn, we're going to have removed 6 cards from our deck. So we're down to like a 35 card deck, which is then just all gas. That's the idea behind the deck. Unfortunately, all gas is not going to be this BTL from the looks of things. And we cannot deal. Like, Triple Advanced Perils, we literally can't deal with them. And if this is an Isaac, then we're in, like, an absolute ton of trouble. Importantly, we don't want to draw at all here, because we don't want to draw into the programs, which we want to sell. So here we get, so we start at 24 credits, importantly, okay? So we started at 24. We'll get our Unity down. We'll get our Turbine down. We'll install the Eca, so next turn we can start making runs. We lost 4 credits that turn, and we have a full rig, which should cost 3, 6, 10. So we got 10 credits, like completely tutored, all on the board. That's where it's good. This is not good for us. Luckily, we are tau. Even more luckily, they have iced archives, which is perfect because they want to get subliminal messaging value, which is great for them. But we love them icing archives because we are tau. I kind of want them to jam something in server 1 before we challenge any of this. So let's draw. We can start drawing now because we don't want to like sell anything. We'll draw again. Anytime now. We could Dirty Laundry. Yeah, like Pressure Spike in this matchup would actually be pretty sick. We might Dirty Laundry. We might just Dirty Laundry HQ. Let's force some ice to be rezzed. What do we not want to see here? Afshar's mildly annoying. Not really, though. That's fine. If the other one, nah, that's absolutely fine. So we'll host the Eka on here, and we're going to break it for like 2 credits, which feels pretty sick. We can also now move this Winchester like somewhere else, which means that it's not going to keep us out very well. There also should be some stuff in hand right now. There's an NGO front. It's not exactly what we want, and we can keep drawing. Well, if we'd drawn one more time, that would have been quite nice. The big question is that we could DJ Quetzal in this matchup, because they're going to be on Akhet. No, we break Akhet for 1 credit. Like, it means that we get to faceplant into Pheros's and not take the tag. Is that worth it? Probably not. Like, if they're on massive tree lines, then it's a problem. I really don't want to use Trickshot unless there's something in the server, but they're kind of refusing to put anything in the server, and we've drawn a 3rd Trickshot, so I guess we're Trickshotting. Messner Chesto, that's actually great if this is a Pharos, because that means they can't now res the Pharos. We can match and break. Like this, so this exact matchup, or ones like it, is why I feel so much more comfortable now that I'm playing tau and not playing Isla, because this deck, like the way it's set up, it is just there to kind of do this like pretty rushy strat. And so if you come up against Glacier, like big Glacier, then you're going to get really, really stuck. We'll break the end of run. Hopefully this isn't like a Chrysium. That would be really annoying, but then at least they go down to like no credits. Whereas if they do start to really Glacier up, then we're Tau, and that can be quite hard. Does seem like a Chrysium. They didn't res an Isaac, right? Which is what I would have assumed it was otherwise. Let's see if they res here. Otherwise, it could be a Hollow Man. Could be a Hollow Man. We've got 2 credits. They've got a Gov sub. They're way off playing that, so that's nice. We see another card. An SDS is a very minor issue. We might have to steal that now. That's annoying. We could just steal that and move the Winchester off of HQ for the time being. We don't have a Simul chip out yet. But if they push this next turn, we could mad dash it. That might be better. I'm going to do no action, and I will trash the Chrysium grid because it only cost me 2 credits at this point. So now I want to desperately find the 1 Simul chip. We won't run server 1. So they're going to draw into like my kingdom for holding on to one of these muses or coalescences at this point, but I didn't. They're going to draw into a government subsidy, which they're very far off playing. So that's good for us. We could also, if we draw into the Harmony AR therapy, then we're probably good to go to steal it, because we can just trash the Eka and Harmony it back. Probably got to go and... Oh, well, they see the SDS. Chances of drawing the symbol chip are pretty high here. They probably dumped the SDS, I would imagine. So we might just challenge archives first click. Let's look for the symbol chip first. We did not find the symbol chip first. Found a lot of burners. We could trick shot. It's expensive to get through this master chest though. That's annoying. I think we still trick shot. I want to clear this spin doctor. Otherwise we could go HQ. Put down Steve. We probably do need Steve. I don't want to burn it yet though. Drawing into both burners feels a bit gash there. I also don't like giving them a credit each time I do this. Maybe I should have just stolen the STS. No, it's like it's really hard to use symbol chip in this circumstance as well. Potentially we should be on reclaim instead of symbol chip. Hadn't considered that. We'll break the end of the run. This puts them up to 6, which is not enough to Reserferos, so we can still challenge server 1. Annoyingly, it might now be an Aket with 3 counters on it. Okay, they have advanced it to 3, but we're going to steal an agenda here and move the Winchester, another government subsidy. And a hedge fund. Not great. Let's go server 1. This is probably an Aket from the fact that it's triple advanced. But if it's Pharos, then we're happy. Ah, it's Pharos. I think you res almost anything else there. Okay, well, they're not getting the hedge fund, so that's good, because they're shuffling. We could go back with another trick shot. Actually, we might go back with another trick shot. We haven't got enough clicks to go catalog a mad dash. But basically, just before they redo this Messner Chesvo, I kind of want to... I think we're going back. It's like 1 credit. We can pay for all of this. Oh, they didn't shuffle... Hold up. They didn't shuffle back the face down. Oh, so the SDS is... Wait. The SDS is in HQ. So we could go DJ Steve Burner. But then they're definitely going to... I think we go DJ Steve Burner and get back a gamble. DJ Steve Burner. So last click Burner is like pretty bad. Probably incorrect. We need to match strength. Why? This is at 4. Fully break. Oh, costs 2. Kakaslab, after and there's Rosetta install, makes my day at least 13% better. That's all I hope for, really. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not 1, it's 2 because of this sodding Winchester having an extra whatchamacallit. All of our money's gone, but that's not that surprising. We're just gonna get gambles here. You don't need to break the trash hardware sub. I don't. because I've got no hardware installed. Thank you. Right. I think I don't want them to have. I'm going to put the SDS on the top. I don't think I want them to have the tree line because I've just committed to DJ Steve, which means I can't go DJ Quetzal. So I think. No, I think we're going to put. So I think we put the SDS on top. And then we'll put the tree line on top of it. I'm just going to slow them down. Like, they want to go slow, we want them to go slow. No hardware. Yep. No hardware. So now we know the SDS is on the top. So we could mad dash it next turn if we want to. Like, if they don't draw it. Obviously, like, they should draw it. They probably will draw it. Especially as they know we've got a trick shot because we played that. But there we go. They have to click for a draw. They probably hit the wall-to-wall in server 1. They did something. Oh, they have made whatever this is. I shouldn't have given them the tree line. Giving them the tree line was bad. Okay, so we probably should have been DJ Quetzal at this point. I really need to find that Sybil chip. So let's find the Sybil chip or the Harmony AR therapy. We did not find either. That's upsetting. We'll do this. We're going to run archives and I just want to stop their subliminal coming back. I also kind of want to see what this is face down. It's a send a message. Oh, that's fun. Wow. They let us steal that. Well, we're definitely going to steal that. And then we will swap. Thank you very much. We're going to put this piece of ice, which they definitely want to be really, really big. And this piece of ice that's on archives, which looks like something to just try and stop us running. There was also a logjam in there. Did we see that? And then they get to res something. And we get some free information, which we love as tau. And then the question is, do we play the casts or the creative? I think we play the casts now, I would assume. This was a tree line. Fine. Again, probably should have been DJ Quetzal. Or we go HQ. We could burner it back. I think we're gonna play the creative because I think next turn there's a good chance that we burner, click 1, and then we mad dash R&D, click 2. If they install double advance, nah, that's annoying, isn't it? So that's probably the SDS. I think we burn a click 1 anyway, right? Because if it's not the SDS, yeah, I think we burn a click 1 because if it's not the SDS, then we're going to see it. And then we can just get back like gamble. Nope, can't do that. But we can probably, if we don't see the SDS in HQ, then we just mad dash server 1. And we should get the win, I think. So this time I'm going to remember that I actually only need to break trash a program and end the run. You can trash the no hardware I have installed. You could even just run the remote, see it, refuse it, mad dash again. I could, but I wonder how much this is to break. Someone do the maths for me quickly. Not that much, I guess, like 5, right? Okay. they're spending like all their money on this. So now, do we go and check this server 1? It's 5 to get in. So we could get in, refuse it, mad dash it if it is the SDS. I do quite like that line. Costs us 5 credits though. Otherwise we go back. So otherwise we go HQ, we pay 1 credit. We burn our HQ. And then, yeah, so otherwise like we run HQ and then we burn our HQ. And I don't think they can score this out next turn anyway, so maybe that's just fine. Like they'd have to have a subliminal in hand, and we're gonna see it. If they do, well, we're probably gonna see it. We'd have to miss for like 1 in 5. We're probably gonna put 1 on the top. This Ika has felt pretty good. Not gonna lie. I guess this is like the perfect deck for it because this big BTL tends to not run very many sentries. That's fine. Oh, sorry. Hardware sub should fire, not program. Let's just quick check of how much it costs us to get into R&D is like actually quite expensive. Fine. Maybe all these subs are firing. Oh no, all of them are firing. I'm gonna pay and then give myself free. Which unfortunately is slow with the lag. So we're gonna get Burner. I'm surprised you're willing to run Ika in a deck with only 1 Symbol Chip and RFG, all 3 Muses. Well, I'm not just on Ika. I have... Okay, we see a wall-to-wall. I also have Echelon. The Ika is like a little additional. You need like a extra break. You need 1 additional program, and Ika is actually pretty good as a like early alternative to Echelon, particularly against Archer. Okay, so we can just put, yeah, it's like the 1 times propeller slot exactly. We can just put like, so we now are like 100% sure. Are we 100% sure? We're pretty sure that this is... We're going to put the government subsidy... I think we're going to put the wall-to-wall and the gov sub on the top. And then we just mad dash the remote. If it's not, we've like seriously missed it both times. I'm just double checking the maths here. This is 7. We need to boost twice. Yeah, fine. It could wait a turn. Absolutely could wait a turn. Probably should have waited a turn because, like, if this is an NGO, then they're gonna need to pop it, right? We missed it. I can't believe we missed it. That's ridiculous. Should have made sure it was the agenda. Wow. Yeah. Should have waited a turn. Okay, I've actually thrown the game by doing that as well. They've got a clearinghouse coming up, which we can't really deal with. Did they draw? They didn't draw. So this must be the SDS. So we just click to but we can't no right-minded player reses and pops BC that interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like yeah. Wow. That was not well played of me. Well, now we need to find the simul chip like really, really fast because this is the SDS, which is a huge problem. So let's draw. Let's diesel. We've found the harmony. So I think we can click twice here and let them score out the SDS. It's unfortunate. We really threw this one. They didn't shuffle back. We know that there was there was definitely an SDS in hand, right? Like I didn't like fluff it that bad. You could take it, to be fair. Let Ika get trashed and move. I don't think they trash Ika. They'll trash the cleaver. Or maybe even they might even trash the turbine, to be quite honest. It gets subliminal messaging back as well, which is a real pain. Credit, trick shot. Would that? I don't think that would have got me in because I'd have lost 3, right? Oh, trash the Eco by stealing. Yeah. Right. What did they trash? They did trash the turbine. Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay. Right. I think we need to move this tree line back onto HQ because they're about to push a clearinghouse in the server. It's a bit awkward. Yeah. This and this. Yeah, DJ Quetzal was a better option. Okay, so we can play the gamble. Kind of don't want them to get this subliminal back, but we might just have to slow down the tiniest bit. We can diesel. There's our echelon. We still haven't found the simul chip. That is wild. We can't really make a run. Oh, we lost our propeller. What? How did we lose our castle? We lost it to the mad dash. That's so ridiculous. Well, this and this, I guess. We kind of know what's coming up for them. Like they're probably going to push the clearinghouse, which they're about to draw. I don't think we saw any of ice. Do we see a tree line? Not sure. Not sure. Oh, we got a boost. Actually, this is still only like 1. It's 1 to boost, right? No, it's 2 to boost. That's unfortunate. So here they probably advance. I would imagine, and force us to deal with the clearinghouse, which we probably have to deal with now. If they're not going to advance it, then I'm not going to run it yet. If it turns out to be above the law, then I'll be upset. I'm going to run and get rid of this Spin Doctor. The question is, do we trick shot to deal with that? They'll get an advancement. And now let's think. Message Esper is the same to break, but the Aket is not the same to break. So we probably do need to like draw. There's our Simmel chip finally. We could go draw, install Simmel chip, trick shot, selling the Eka. Then we can't run server 1 if they advance server 1. But I think this is fine. I think it's fine. Does this make any difference? It literally makes no difference at the moment. That's hilarious. We'll use these three. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll trash for Eka to get the turbine. To get the turbine. Where is it? Oh, it's behind my chat log. Cost of credit. Kind of annoyed at myself for throwing this one, not gonna lie. But that's fine. We're gonna steal 2 agendas here, neither of which is gonna be an SDS, hopefully. Okay, they didn't advance either of the installed cards, which is like good for us. We see a Pharos, terrifying. We see another Winchester. We'll run server 2 because if we run server 1, we literally lose the game. So they're going to draw a Pharos and a Winchester. We see a wall-to-wall, which we will trash for 1 real credit. And then I did not manage to get Firefox working. This is still on Chrome. And hello, Wild Turtok. How are you doing today? It's another wall-to-wall. Okay, so they're going to draw through the lock for us. Oh, hello, Liam, as well. Okay, so now, next turn, we need to Harmony AR therapy. So what are we getting back? Basically, we have to get back our Wincon, which is a Cataloger and a Mad Dash. We probably have to get back our Simmel chip, otherwise we're just going to lose. And we need to get back some money. We can't do all those things. That's a lot of things. I think we burnt ourselves out, and Sodding had the game. I can't believe we didn't see we saw 3 out of 4 in hand, and we missed the SDS. I mean, I can believe that, but the only game I played today was against someone on PE Shell Game. Oh, and they have a Trojan horse. Okay. Well, I guess we are losing something else here. So now we need to get back. More than we have. Okay. So we have re-lost our turbine. That's not great for us. What's our last card before we play this Harmony AR therapy? It is Is it something good? Is the big question. Is it a creative? Because if so, I'll draw first. There's 1, 2 creatives in the bin. I think it is a creative. So that's actually like the best possible option. Because now we can draw the creative, play the Harmony AR therapy. We're going to get back the only way which we can feasibly win this, which is Mad Dash, Cataloger. What do you think of the Coalescence Rosetta Show and Sable? Well, we're about to play it in Los, hopefully. Somewhat depends on JNet. I think we need the Simmel chip, which is not good in terms of the fact that we also need money. We're going to need the turbine. So we also need the turbine. We can't afford to install all of this. We'll get the Simmel chip, and then we can afford 1 money card. Wow. Well, that is not great. It's going to be the gamble, I think. Because we should have enough money next turn. We can draw 1 and play creative. I'm not going to install Nuka because I won't get actual good value off of her. Okay, we have our cataloger. Note, for us to cataloger Mad Dash, maybe this is the time I really want Ken's influence. Yeah, possibly, Koga. We could have the thing is, we're not. So we'll pull up that list in a second because there's just not very many run events in it, right? Like, and I don't know how we get more run events in there. So I'll win now, assuming they don't put another ice on R&D, and if they do, then it might be time for me to concede. We will find out. Is going to be to install a cataloger, run R&D, see a 3-point agenda, and mad dash it. That is our only sensible way of winning. It currently costs. Ugh. That could be the Pharos, and that could be us. That could be us, like done. Because we also can't deal with this wall to wall, so they're actually gonna be able to. Yeah, that's gonna be a 10 strength Pharos. I'll wait until we face checked it in case they didn't put the Pharos there for some bizarre reason. But I think we can quite safely assume that they have. And that will cost us more money than we have by quite a long shot. How does direct access work with Ken? That is such a great question. First time you play a run event, does it come in? Is it active when you play Ken? I guess it probably is. Oh, they're trashing the Winchester off the server. Makes sense. Like, we could just click for credits here. I really don't want to just click for credits here. It stops Ken and Asmari. Wild. Stopping Asmari is quite funny. So if this is Pharos, for us to mad dash R&D, we need to be able to break a Pharos, which is going to be like 5. It's going to be 10, 11, 12. The Messenger Chest costs us 6. So this is 12 plus 6. Maybe we should have got the burner back. No. Maybe. Maybe we should have got the burner back. Maybe I should have done DJ Quetzal, like I said. Because then I could just be moving these tree lines around and I wouldn't give a damn. Thinking. Could be playing Credit Clicker 3000 right now. The problem is, like, just don't want, like, JNet's so slow. Let's just draw our last card, because it's a Simul chip. Actually incredibly useless. Nah, it's fine if they exactly score something. I'm just trying to do the maths. It's 6 plus 12 twice, plus 2 for the cataloger, plus 1. 12 plus 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19. I need 38 credits to win the game, like realistically. That's so many turns. That's too many turns. So either, how much does it cost me to get into R&D once? That's the question. We're just going to mad dash R&D. We're just going to mad dash R&D next turn, and then we're going to bail. So if this is Pharos, which we are 100% sure it is, it's not going to be anything else. We have to put down our turbine first. If this is a Colossus, then we're really boned. But I don't think it is a Colossus. So we said that this was going to be 12. This is going to be 6. This is going to be 1. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18. So I need 18, which here, if I go click, click, and now I can mad dash, right? Because it's 10 for strength. I technically can take the tag. It's 10 plus 1, which is 11. Yeah. I think I'm credit perfect here. It's a log jam. I haven't done the maths on a log jam, but that feels like less. That's 9 strength. So that must be less than what I'd worked out. It's 1 less. So I should be fine, as long as I haven't really screwed this up somehow. Quite obviously, if this misses, I will concede. I hope you understand. Yeah, technically, so it's a 6. It's a 6 in 24. I didn't notice if they were playing 49 cards. But there's 4. There's either 4 or there's 5 in 24. So it's like, but if they're on 49 cards, anyone notice? Because if they're on 49 cards, I don't even necessarily win. We'll break the end of run. Heart of the cards, one time. One time. It's going to be a hell of a way to not end the stream, but here we go. It's a Sadaka! A GG. Thanks for the game. That was painful because I should have had that. I should have just been patient. I should have worked out my actual chance that there was still a 1 in 4 chance, but I hadn't hit the SDS. Also, if I worked out I had the money. If I had trashed the wall to wall, which I saw on the first time in, I had exactly enough credits to go back for a full hand burner. But there we go. Right. That was only mildly depressing because of bad play on my part. So now I'm going to try and play this, and I'm going to probably get Koga to tell me what I'm doing. He did suggest some changes. It was definitely add at least one for Salem. I don't know what he cut for it. I can't spell for Salem. Fis Salem? Something like that. Money was perfect for remote, but not for R&D. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Don't cut cards. What, just add the Fasalem? Possibly. Uh, could also go Shib over Cat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like either of those. I am tempted to play Echelon over Carmen, but maybe that's a bit risky. Everyone's on like archers at the moment. But we got like Revolver to deal with archers once or twice. Can deal with an archer twice. That's fine, right? And we can just shut down the archers, right? With the one emergency shutdown. And we can window through them. We can window through an archer. So maybe I don't care about archers. So I think I'm going to cut the Carmen. I'm going to play an Echelon. I'm going to regret it, probably. Because I'm not a Crim player. I could see Echelon. Anansi is annoying. Yeah, but we've got Revolver, right? Right? And we just window the Anansis. That's it. We like use 6 bullets, and instead of throwing the gun, we turn it into the Echelon. We're gonna play 46 cards because like Crim's got famously loads of draw, so we'll be absolutely fine. And yeah, Shiv over Cat. The other option, which I was considering, was you like you play Shibboleth, because Shibboleth is really good early, but it's so bad late. And I was looking at Amina, and Amina, kind of interesting right now, but it still needs like one pit. Like Amina plus Turbine is brutal against almost every piece of ice out there. Is it better than Buzzsaw though? Don't know. Like maybe we could just play Buzzsaw. You know, we've got that one inf. Would just Buzzsaw be better? No, because we don't have any boosting. We don't have any boosting options. Do I have MU for Amina? It's only one MU, right? Could we play Amina plus Turbine is also 11 credits to install. Wow, not if we sell other programs to Rosetta Stone to get them out. But yeah, I don't know if we're actually we're not. I'm not being that serious about the Amina thing. I just really like Shibboleth early, and I really hate Shibboleth late, which is it's good card design. It's exactly how it's been designed. -1 Coalescence, +1 to Kobe is interesting. That is interesting. Or we play a Leech. We have one MU. We have one. I'm mostly worried here about. I'm mostly worried about our win con because it is distinctly non-existent. That there's no win con here. How are we winning? Like just by being Los, right? Just by doing good old. Oh, it's Lucille. Good old like. Oh dear. This is. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. This is gonna be fine, right? We can window their. Are they not on Hydra anymore? They're on the other one, Piranhas. Add Wake. Yeah, it's probably correct. Okay, we've got a Doof, and we got for Salem's actually like pretty good. We probably just like die super quickly anyway. So let's see if they respect Crim on HQ. They do respect Crim on HQ. Do we do them? Yeah, it's almost like the faction just does not have real win cons. So we should probably try and make this a Jutinho deck, right? Because that's a win con. So we could go Gamble, Hermes. No, I think I just want to do Gamble, Boomerang, Doof, which feels bad, but I think like I've got to get my money up and I've got to cost them some money. And if they res here, then we get even more money. Also, we very importantly just found the magnet. Yeah, I think this is like fine. I like don't love the like oh, I'm doing doof like last click, but this is going to bring them down to 3 credits, right? And then next turn we can just draw up and play 4 credits. Okay, I can't do maths. We can just draw up and play no events, and we'll be okay. I think we don't have Pinhole in this deck, notably. We have 2 class acts, which we might be able to survive punitive with. And they pop back up in money because they have predictive. Do we run this? Let me go like Hermes. Maybe we go Hermes, run R&D. And then either draw twice. I'm going to go Hermes, run R&D. Because, oh, we see a Piranhas. That's fine. We have a Phasalum somewhere. Well, right in hand, to be quite honest. We'll draw and we'll draw. I don't want to give them any money. And not that we had events that we could play. Unfortunately, they do get a Rosetta. If you think of a puny math, this is 100% grave. Yeah, what, like, as in the first turn? Yeah, that is the other thing. We need to stay at least somewhat ahead in terms of punitive math. Okay, that's probably Piranhas. So we could put the Phasalum on and Bravado. Is this deck running on Smiling? Yeah, it is. So like we could just die to that, unfortunately. So I think we draw. We have a Shezva is actually like the most useless thing that we have here. That's fine. Don't want to give them Asmari money, but maybe it's correct to. No, I'm going to draw once more. Okay. I think I put that on the inner ice of the remote because all I have to be able to camp the remote, and we think that the outer is maybe that's totally incorrect because I think that should be like I should be saving that for doof. Okay, we see an attitude adjustment or a sudden commandment, a sudden attitude adjustment. They had a sudden adjustment of attitude. So this turn we could go Phasalum on the outermost of the server. Do we want to challenge this server yet? Say that the actual push turn feels more realistic. Yeah. I'm installing the boomerang now because I had too many cards in hand and I didn't know what to do and I didn't want to play a single event and give them Asmari money for nothing. I'm going to end up playing a single event this turn instead, which is going to... No, there we go. We at least have 2. That feels like I can get away with that. Install daily casts. It's fine, but I wanted for like this is the annoying thing about Asmari. I wanted the career fair value, and just installing daily cast was probably the correct thing because we're going to draw into other resources which we can install with that, right? The big problem, I guess, is if they get a third piece of ice on this server, and then we don't know how we're getting through it. They shuffled a re-education back in, which is interesting. Yeah, we haven't found a Rosetta Stone or any sources yet, which is a shame. Let's draw a couple of cards. Window is good later. Boomerang is unfortunate. I think we can draw one more time. Probably just get the coalescence down here, right? Or the casts. I think we throw out the Shezva. I think I'm just going to put down the casts. And throw out the Shezva. Everything else seems quite important. The window's probably... Oh, if they re-res piranhas... Oh, no, they get to do it for free, don't they? Like, they don't even have to pay... We don't get the bad pub again, is what I'm thinking. Because this is ignoring all costs. Okay, this feels like a turn that I probably want to check the remote. So that is what I will do. We'll go for Salem on the outside. There's only one magnet in this list as far as I'm aware. We go in here. They probably res at least one of these, which is good for Los. We do see the piranhas. We'll pay 3 to bypass. We can't choose any other option. This is a Klevetnik. Do they give us 2 credits? They don't give us 2 credits. We'll break that with Boomerang. Now, we don't have any missed bones in this deck, which is unfortunate. Because if we've got to actually trash stuff here, we've got to do it with real money. But if we're trashing expensive stuff, we just don't want to steal an agenda same turn. Okay, that's probably fine. We've got no unres cards. That's unfortunate for Hermes. We will shuffle a Boomerang back in. We should now have... Right, we've got 18 credits. So we can... Yes, Klevetnik is here for a special reason. This is the deck which has made Klevetnik work. I'm going to draw 1. And then I think I just install the Coalescence because it's gained 2 credits, right? So the Klevetnik... the deck that Lucille's playing here is the Dial EA for Murder, which is a pretty cool, very, very fast and scary Asmari kill deck, which I think 8 of the EA Sports team brought to EMEA. So it was created by Extremely Average Sports, the team, and the Klevetnik is there to like deal with stone ships and like even like I don't think you ever install the class act first, but you can like stop a class act with it. But it was mainly there, I think, for like yes, also Bankar. I know that it was like Bankar, but also and Stone Ship were the 2 particular things. Like it's really good at stopping Bankar getting through if that's what they're purely relying on, and then yeah, if they're like relying on I'm not going to die because of Stone Ships, then you can switch at least one of those off. And there's been some other like what did I say? Oh, so this was something that happened in Meat Space the other day. someone was playing this deck, and the other person challenged their remote, and their remote was like a Gypstag Grid, the Hollow Man, I think maybe even 2 Hollow Men, something along those lines. It's very, very expensive. Called program, not event. KKK. Oh yeah, Caldera, which is funny. I don't have to run this yet, right? I don't think. So let's draw. Let's draw. We're drawing programs now. That's unfortunate for us. We don't want to make a run here. We could maybe make a run on R&D, just see if we can slow them down a bit. I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, so someone was running the remote, and on the way in, the other person, it was Mark, rezzed a Klevetnik, and they blanked their fresh Mistbones. 12 credits on it. And then when the other player got to the end of the server, they spent like 8 credits trashing all their stuff. Emergency shutdown is pretty good, especially when there's a Piranhas on the board. They spent all their money trashing all the stuff, and then they didn't have enough money to survive the punitive. Because this deck is on 3 punitive, it's on 2 Gypstag grids, and it threatens to kill you either through Hollow Man plus Re-Education plus Gypstag grid, or they purged. That makes sense. We can get it back with the Muse, which is nice. I don't think we want to do that quite this turn. Are we still on program here? I think we are. Let's draw one. We really want to find our... That is unfortunately a program. But we could install that. Then Boomerang HQ. So we could install the compilation, run R&D. The thing is, I think if there's an agenda in... I guess if it's exactly a re-education in hand, then... Thinking. If I run HQ... Yeah, I think I want to save the Boomerang 2. Because I need to be able to challenge server 1 at some point. We could put down the compilation, run archives. Doesn't feel great. I really want to draw a frickin' Rosetta Stone. It would be nice. What's this outside ice going to be? Don't know. So if we draw again, we're going to be like resigned to putting some programs down. Saucy. Yeah. Woo installing is probably going to be pretty sick. I think I potentially... Do I get tagged here? Unsmiling is like annoying. Right, so we could muse the Thessalan back out of the bin. And then next turn, we could woo the Saucy onto it. Baram, woo! Exactly. I think I've got to play some sodding programs this turn. It's like kind of gutting. I'm just going to do this. They wanted to purge. So we're going to force them to do it again. And then we'll just... play the Coalescence. If we don't draw a whatchamacallit pretty soon, we're going to be in trouble. Because we're going to have installed all of these programs and not really have anything to do with them. I was considering spec work Koga. I don't know if you had considered it. It kind of, the problem is it kind of doesn't make sense with yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense, which is upsetting as much as it does make sense. So we get a little bit wrecked by exactly unsmiling Serevna. Drawing a lot of cards. We might check archives here, see if they want to try and feed us some points. Because we'd love a Hermes bounce. I'd love to bounce this outer ice. Back on event. Ah, we're going to play events this turn. That's a shame. Let's draw once. Let's run. Let's run archives. Unfortunately, like, if we do pick up a send a message, then it's not... Do they get to trigger first? I never quite know. It's runner's turn, right? So, would we get to bounce first? Do they get to res first? I'm never sure. We'll do this, and we'll play an Earthrise. And we'll refuse to give them money. And any minute now, we're going to draw a Rosetta 2.0. Heart of the Cards. Okay, now this is terrifying. Because now we have to be able to get in there. We don't have an inside job. We have a Rosetta. Okay. So, we could be greedy with the Saucy. But I think we want to draw some cards in case this is a Piranhas. What actually keeps us out in this one? There were like a couple of barriers, right? I think there's pings. Yeah, that's upsetting. So we could go Rosetta, get Kurapira, and then window of opportunity putting the boomerang on the outside ice. I think is probably correct. So let's get our Kurapira. Time to pull out the reading glasses for that one. Hey, Chris, how you doing? So now the real big question is, do we want to? Maybe we want to keep a card in hand, actually. So maybe we want to keep. Because either we Rosetta one of these into a Phasalum, not a Phasalum. Yeah, I think we want a Saucy. It's just whether do we Rosetta for a Saucy here on the outside ice and then window of opportunity. I don't necessarily want to be stuck with a tag. Or do we put the Saucy on the Piranhas? Because that's what we're going to de-res with the window of opportunity. I think it is, right? Like, so we get rid of this Coalescence. We get ourselves a Saucy. which we put on the piranhas, and then we window of opportunity. We might end up tagged, but I think that's okay. Like, it's only going to be a single tag at the very least, most, whatever the question thing is. We're going to put our boomerang on this outermost piece of ice, and then we're going to choose the piranhas to derez. They no res. That's cool. They don't res. That's cool. Let's see if they re-res it after is a big question. I mean, they won't if they have the kill here. But we're probably not going to trash the server if there's an agenda. But we won't know. We don't know what any of these cards are. But we'd assume that this lot... you never really know, actually. Like, we're going to trash at most a Hollow Man. If there's a Gypstad, I think we leave it. Okay, we can just steal Ray Education, then probably leave the rest of this. Oh, you know what? We actually don't want to. We don't want to bounce the piranhas. That's quite funny. We'll bounce this card of R&D. The Gypstad, I think, stays, and the Hollow Man we trash. And then they get their opportunity to window. And we're pretty safe money-wise. Yeah, if it's the same deck, then the doing maths, that's terrifying. They can't double punitive me. You need double what I have -2. But double puny. You no. I think it makes it double what I have -4. At some point, and I'll never be able to find it because it was on a random stream, but I wrote a poem for Vesper about how to do punitive maths. It was a perfect 5-line poem, and unfortunately, it's never been like I don't know. I'll never be able to find it again. 6 for 10 and last 3 plus 9. There's numbers there. I don't know what I mean. Either way, like I feel pretty safe. Like Lucille could single punitive me. Goes completely poor doing it. Like surely next turn we slap down the copulation. Go R&D. We can get our breaker for HQ with the Rosetta Stone. Selling the Muse. Or possibly selling the Saucy. If Lucille overwrites that ice, it's quite bad for us. You spend 9, get 15 plus 9 left in your pocket. Spend to avoid. I'm like, I know that I'm safe. I guess like some real nonsense with sudden commandment into a predictive into a YDL, but that's never going to make like 20 credits, right? And it costs money. Yeah. Like maybe you could do no, then you just pay another 3. No, I don't think there's any way of making like that much. Punitive math is so annoying. Like essentially no, I don't understand it either. Does I don't believe so. I think you need around 35 to 40 credits to double, or maybe even. All right, we're sending it. Yeah. I mentioned in this poem, so I wrote this poem for Vesper, and it even included whether there was link or not. And I've never been able to find it again. So if someone could just go and trawl back through Vesper's streams, then and find it for me and send it to me, then I'd really like to see it. I remember it being pretty good. It was like it rhymed, it was 5 lines long, and it perfectly described how to do punitive math. Oh, Lucille did trash our things. Yeah. Um, Other agendas must be in hand by now, right? There's 8 in R&D. There's like, so I think we just go. Are they going to be in archives or are they going to be in hand? What did we leave? We left the Jupstad in here. So the other option is we just play like class act and we survive at least a turn. We can go compilation, run archives, sell the muse, and then run. Muse for Muse for Thesaurus. Yeah, I don't think I need to check it. That's exactly like. I mean, if I was worried, then I can just stick down the class act. Is there a chance? No, if that was like a Hollow Man and the agenda, then they might be able to do something. I'm gonna go compilation, run archives. Then I think we're gonna go and sweep HQ. Importantly, not giving them any money. Let's see if there's one in here. There is a lot of stuff in here. What do we pick up? Probably the Hollow Man, right? We'll sell the Muse to get. What are we on? Cat's Cradle? That's probably breaking this okay. I guess it's breaking it for 3 credits. It seems like a fair bit. Maybe we should have done this next turn so we could have shut down. I guess we don't really want to shut down either of these. Come on, run HQ. Do your thing. You can do it, Janet. You can do it if you try. Second Jip and last spin in the bin. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. Any minute now. Any minute now. I will run HQ. Aha! It has happened. Oh yeah, we've got a bad pub as well. 3 credits. We don't need to be worried about punitive anymore, which is nice. Yes. What do we got? We got a Rashida. Do we want to trash a Rashida? No, they're going to deck themselves out before anything else happens. Ping. And a Piranhas. Push the button harder, that always works. Yeah, totally. Okay. Nothing there. So we could have just missed. We're very good at missing at whiffing on HQ in this particular stream today. So we might have just whiffed. Or there's like 4 agendas in 7 cards of R&D. Where's that wake implant we were talking about? Predictive. Does Lucille deck herself out here? No. She gains 3. Trashes the strands are boomerang. Very rude. Okay. Kind of feel like maybe I should have trashed that Gypstad. No. So I think I'm still safe. And I think I'm probably even safe if I install a class act next turn and do very, very little. Like, we could get a revolver out. No, we don't actually have anything to sell. That's upsetting. Maybe we put the saucy on R&D, run R&D. Resource. Okay. Respecting the class act play. Well, we're probably going to play a resource. I think I'm going to play it for, like, I'm going to put down the class act just straight away because I don't want to lose it. So we'll give Lucille money here. I don't mind too much. Then we're going to do saucy on R&D. We'll run R&D. If it's piranhas, I don't care. If it's a piranhas, the only annoying thing will be if I lose the emergency shutdown. But I don't think the game's going to go long enough to do that. So we shall see. Like a res here, and Lucille has to res here, I think, because there is probably. I think there's only one Klevetnik. That would be funny, but I think still fine. Any minute now, I'm going to run R&D and gain like 5 credits and probably lose 1 card. Just real soon. Real soon. In any minute now, I'm gonna run R&D. Just building up the suspense. Feels like a Dragon Ball fight right now. Yeah. Um, Gaining power. Ah! No res, jack out. No, don't draw. Don't click on draw by accident. I'm gonna push the button harder. Um, because that always works. Come on, come on, one last run. It's gonna be the winning run. We all know it's gonna be the winning run. We've seen like most of HQ, so we know it's not in there. I guess like the agenda might be in server 1. GG. If you didn't see what happened, Lucille peeked at the top card, and it was a send a message. Well, pushing harder might just be on touchscreen. Well, I think that probably settles it for tonight in terms of the fact that JNet's just not gonna play ball. Honeymoon Los feels good in this deck. Couldn't get you poor. Yeah. Oh, Moneyman Los. I thought I said Honeymoon Los. Yeah. Even with only a bit of only a few ice reses. Yeah, we felt pretty rich. Need reverse accounts. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, reverse accounts plus Hollow Man is like potentially quite sick. Only seemed to bypass JNet lag. Yeah, it's probably good timing for me to go to bed too. A while till. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. Thank you particularly to Koga for sending me this list. Um, Thank you to Man in the Moon and Santa for publishing. Uh, I don't have it in here, but their version of this list, which we played earlier, and yeah, thank you everyone. If you last minute thing, if you don't have a ticket yet for Bristol or the Southwest Regionals in Bristol, which is in 2 weeks' time, it's less than 2 weeks' time now. There are like 5 tickets left. 5 tickets left. So if you're planning to come and you haven't bought a ticket yet, buy a ticket now. I was meant to say that at the start, kind of forgot. But yeah, they're flying out the door. So um, please do, because I don't want anyone to like miss out when they really wanted to come. And with that, I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks everyone. Again, congratulations to Jai for the weekend. I will see you next week. Ciao for now.